Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Alice looks into a book. It is boring. It has no pictures. Alice is sleepy. Suddenly, she sees a white rabbit. "I am late," he cries and runs past her. Alice is surprised. She stands up and runs after the rabbit. The rabbit jumps down a large rabbit hole. Alice goes after it. The rabbit hole is a large tunnel. It goes down. Alice is falling, but slowly. She sees bookshelves and books with pictures. She is thinking about her cat, Dinah, when thump! She is on her feet. The white rabbit is running along a corridor and turns a corner. Alice runs after him, but she does not see the rabbit. She sees doors in the corridor. They are locked. She also sees a table and a small golden key on it. The golden key is too small for all the doors, except one little door behind a curtain. Alice opens the little door. She sees a lovely garden. She wants to go there, but she cannot. She is too big. Alice returns to the table. There she finds a small bottle with the words, "Drink me," on it. The bottle does not say poison, thinks Alice, and tastes it. It is tasty. She drinks it. She is growing down now. She is only 10 inches high. She wants to go to the little door, but it is closed. The little golden key is on the table. Poor Alice! Now she is too small. She cannot take it. But she notices a little glass box under the table. She opens it and finds a very small cake. "Eat me," says the label. Alice tastes the cake. Nothing happens. Usually nothing happens when someone eats cakes, but Alice hopes something will happen. She eats the whole cake. "Curiouser and curiouser," cries Alice. She is so surprised that she forgets how to speak English. "I am growing so large. Goodbye, my feet. I am so far from you now. I will never put on your shoes for you." Suddenly, her head hits the roof. She is more than 9 feet high. She takes the little golden key again, but now she can only look at the garden with one eye. She sits down and cries. Soon, she is sitting in a large pool of her tears. Suddenly, she sees the white rabbit with a pair of gloves and a fan in his hands. Alice needs help. "Please, sir," she says. But the rabbit jumps up in horror, drops the fan and the gloves, and runs away. Alice takes them. "Everything is so strange. I do not know who I am anymore." Alice fans herself because it is very hot. Suddenly, she notices she is growing down again. "It is the fan," understands Alice and drops it. Alice runs to the door, but she does not have the key again. Suddenly, her foot slips and splash! She is in salt water. It is the pool of her tears. Something splashes near her. She looks at a large monster, but it is only a mouse. "Mouse, do you know the way out?" Alice asks the mouse. But it says nothing. Does it speak? Perhaps it speaks French, she thinks. She remembers only one sentence in French. "Where is my cat?" she asks in French. The mouse jumps out of the water in horror. "I am sorry you do not like cats," Alice remembers. "Our family hates cats." The mouse is trembling. "Do you like dogs?" The mouse does not answer. It wants to swim away. "Please come back. I will not talk about cats or dogs." The mouse turns back to Alice. "Let's get to the shore and I will tell you why I hate cats and dogs." A lot of animals are swimming in the pool now. A duck, a dodo, a lory. Alice swims to the shore and they swim after her. Their group is very strange. The birds and animals are wet and angry. How can they get dry? The mouse says, "Sit down and listen to me. I will soon make you dry." And the mouse starts to tell the history of England. Soon it turns to Alice. "How are you now?" "Still very wet," answers Alice. "Then," says the dodo, "we need a race." "What is a race?" asks Alice. "I will show it." The dodo marks a circle, and the group stands around it. The race starts. But what is it? Animals start to run when they like and stop when they like. Then the dodo suddenly cries, "The race is over!" "Who is the winner?" the animals ask. "Everybody is the winner." "But who will give us prizes?" "She, of course." The dodo points at Alice. Everybody comes up to her. "Prizes!" Alice is puzzled. She puts her hand in her pocket and takes out a box of drops. She gives them to everybody. "Will she have a prize herself?" someone asks. "Of course," answers the dodo. "What else do you have in your pockets?" "Only a thimble." "Give it to me." The dodo takes the thimble, and everybody comes up to Alice again. Then they give her the thimble and congratulate her. Alice thinks it is absurd, but everybody is very serious. She bows and takes her prize. The animals eat the drops, sit down, and ask the mouse to tell them a story. "Tell us why you hate C and D," whispers Alice. "My tail is long and sad," says the mouse. "Your tail is long, but why is it sad?" says Alice. "Do you want to insult me?" "Oh no, please tell us your story." But the mouse walks away. "Why isn't Dinah here? She can teach this mouse a lesson," sighs Alice. "Who is Dinah?" asks the lory. "It is my cat. She catches mice and birds." After her words, everybody leaves the hall one by one. Why don't they like Dinah? I want to see Dinah so much. Poor Alice starts to cry again. Suddenly, she hears footsteps. It is the white rabbit. It is looking for something. Oh, my dear paws! It is looking for the gloves and fan. Soon the rabbit notices Alice. He is angry. "Mary Ann, run home and bring me a pair of gloves and a fan." Alice is so frightened that she runs in the direction the rabbit is pointing. He thinks I am his housemaid, but I will try to find his gloves and fan. She comes to a little house. She sees a plate with the name W. Rabbit on it. She enters the house and goes upstairs. Soon, she is in a tidy little room. She sees a fan and a pair of gloves on the table. She takes them. Then she sees a little bottle. I know something interesting will happen, thinks Alice, and drinks it. She grows large very fast, too fast. She cannot leave the house now. She puts one of her arms out of the window and one foot out of the chimney. She is frightened. She stops growing, but she is very sad. "Mary Ann, where are my gloves?" cries the rabbit. It comes up to the door, but it cannot open it because of Alice's elbow. The rabbit goes round the house to get inside through the window, but then it sees a large hand. "Lizard Bill, go down the chimney and take that thing away," cries the rabbit angrily. When Bill goes down the chimney, Alice kicks it as hard as she can. Bill flies out of the chimney and falls near the rabbit. "We will burn the house," cries the rabbit. "If you burn the house, I will send Dinah for you," cries Alice. Bill and the rabbit are silent. After a minute or two, they start to throw small cakes in the window. "I will eat them and grow down because I cannot grow any larger," thinks Alice. She eats a cake and becomes small. When she goes out of the house, she sees a crowd of little animals with the lizard Bill in the middle. Everybody is very angry. Alice runs away from them as fast as she can. She is in a thick wood soon. I want to find that lovely garden, thinks Alice, wandering in the wood. Suddenly, she comes upon the edge of a forest. There is a little house. Alice is standing and looking at the house. She does not know what to do. Suddenly, a footman in livery, actually a fish in livery with curled powdered hair, runs out of the wood and knocks on the door. Another footman, actually a frog with curled powdered hair, opens the door. The fish footman gives a letter to the frog footman. For the Duchess, an invitation from the Queen to play croquet. They both bow low and their curls get entangled. Alice laughs. When she stops, she sees only the frog footman. She goes to the door and knocks. "Why are you knocking?" asks the frog footman. "First, I am here and you are here. Second, it is too noisy inside. No one can hear you." "Perhaps this frog footman is mad," sighs Alice and enters the house. She sees a large kitchen full of smoke. The Duchess is sitting on the stool in the middle. She has a baby in her arms. The cook is cooking. "Too much pepper," Alice says to herself and sneezes. Pepper is even in the air. The Duchess sneezes. The baby sneezes and starts to cry. Only the cook and a large grinning cat do not sneeze. "Why is your cat grinning?" asks Alice. "Because it is a Cheshire Cat," says the Duchess. "Can all cats grin?" "Yes." "Do you want to hold the child? I need to go to the Queen." Suddenly, the Duchess throws the baby to Alice. She looks at the baby curiously. It looks like a little piglet. "What will I do with it?" thinks Alice. The baby grunts. Alice looks at it and sees a real piglet. She feels absurd and puts it down. The piglet runs away into the wood. Suddenly, she sees the Cheshire Cat. It is still grinning. "Cheshire Puss," she says timidly, and the cat grins wider. "Please, tell me which way to go." "It depends on where you want to get to," says the cat. "It is not important where if I get somewhere." "Oh, you will get somewhere if you walk long enough." "Who lives about here?" "On the right lives a hatter." The cat waves his paw. "On the left lives a March hare. They are both mad." "I do not want to go to mad people." "But we are all mad here. I am mad. You are mad." "Why am I mad?" asks Alice. "Because you are here," says the cat, and starts to disappear. "And how is the baby?" "It is a piglet now," says Alice quietly. "As expected." And the cat disappears. Alice walks in the direction of the March Hare's house. I often meet hatters. A March Hare will be more interesting. The cat appears suddenly. "A pig or a fig?" "A pig," answers Alice, "and please, do not disappear and appear so suddenly." "All right," and the cat disappears slowly. Soon, Alice sees only its grin. I often see a cat without a grin, but I don't often see a grin without a cat, thinks Alice. She sees the March Hare's house soon. The chimneys look like ears. The roof is in fur. The March Hare and the Hatter are having tea at the table in front of the house. A dormouse is sleeping between them. The table is large, but the three are together at one corner. "No room!" they cry when they see Alice. "I see a lot of room." Alice sits down. "Have some wine," says the March Hare. "I do not see any wine," says Alice. "Because we do not have any." "It is not polite to offer it then," says Alice angrily. "It is not polite to sit down without invitation," says the March Hare. Then the Hatter asks, "What day of the month is it?" He looks at his watch and shakes it. "The 4th," says Alice. "My watch is 2 days wrong." The March Hare takes the watch and puts it into his cup of tea. Then he looks at it. "What a funny watch," Alice says when she sees that it does not tell time, but tells the day of the month. "Why, does your watch tell you the year?" asks the Hatter. "No." Alice is puzzled. "Do you know time?" asks the Hatter. "No, I do not." "And we know him. We are in a quarrel since our last visit to the Queen. So now it is always 6 o'clock. It is always tea time, and we have no time to wash our tea things." "Do you move around the table all the time?" "Yes." "But what happens when you come to the beginning of the table?" asks Alice. Nobody answers. "Have more tea," says the March Hare. "I cannot have more. It will be my first cup." "You cannot have less. It is easy to have more than nothing. And I want a clean cup. Let's all move one place on." They move on. Now only the March Hare has a clean cup. Alice is now in the Hatter's place. She does not like it. She is angry. She stands up and leaves. Nobody stops her. "It is the silliest tea party in my life." Suddenly, she sees a door in one of the trees. She goes into it. She is near the little glass table again. She knows what to do. She takes the key and opens the door. Now she is in the lovely garden. A large rose tree stands near the door. The roses are white, but 3 gardeners are painting them red. Alice thinks it is very curious. The gardeners look like cards with legs and hands in the corners. They are quarreling, but when they notice Alice, they stop and bow. "Why are you painting the roses?" asks Alice. "It is our mistake they are white. The Queen will cut off our heads if she knows they are not red." Suddenly, one of them cries, "The Queen!" The gardeners fall down on the ground. First, Alice sees 10 card soldiers, then 10 royal children. Then she sees quests, mostly kings and queens. She also notices the white rabbit. The Knave of Hearts comes next. The last are the King and the Queen of Hearts. They all stop and look at Alice. "What is your name, child?" asks the Queen. "My name is Alice, Your Majesty," says Alice. "Who are they?" And the Queen points at the gardeners. "How can I know?" says Alice. The Queen becomes red. She is angry. She cries, "Off with her head!" The King puts his hand on her arm. She is only a child. "Can you play croquet?" cries the Queen then. "Yes," answers Alice. "Come on then." Alice joins the group. The croquet is very strange. The balls are live hedgehogs, and the mallets are live flamingos. The arches are soldiers. All players are playing at the same time. It is a mess. Here and there the Queen cries, "Off with his head! Off with her head!" Alice wants to run away when she notices a grin in the air. "Do you like the Queen?" asks the head of the Cheshire Cat. "No," says Alice, and tells it about the game. Suddenly, the King comes up to her. "Who are you talking to?" "A Cheshire Cat," says Alice. "Kiss my hand, Cat," says the King. "I do not want to do it," answers the cat. "What?" cries the King. The Queen comes up to him, looks at the cat, and orders, "Off with his head!" Soon, a large crowd is standing around the cat. The Queen, the King, and the executioner are quarreling about it. The executioner cannot cut off the head if the head has no body. The King says, "But the cat has a head, so cut it off." The queen is so angry that she wants to cut off everybody's head. "This cat belongs to the Duchess. Why don't you ask her about it?" asks Alice. "Because she is in prison now. Bring her here," orders the queen. The executioner goes off and comes back with the Duchess. The cat grins and disappears. "I am so happy to see you," says the Duchess when Alice and she are walking together. Alice does not like to be near the Duchess because she is very ugly, but Alice wants to be polite. When the queen comes up to them, the Duchess starts to shiver. "Choose. You leave or your head leaves," cries the queen. The Duchess leaves them as fast as she can. "Let's go back to the game," says the queen. The game continues, but very soon only Alice, the queen, and the king are playing. Other players are under arrest. The queen asks Alice then, "Do you know the mock turtle?" "No. What is it?" "We use it to make mock turtle soup, but he can tell you his story." As they walk away, Alice hears the king's voice. "You are all pardoned." Alice and the queen come to a griffin. "Take this young lady to the mock turtle," orders the queen, and leaves. Alice and the griffin walk together until they see the mock turtle. He is sad and lonely. When they come to the mock turtle, the griffin says, "This young lady wants to hear your story." "I will tell it." They sit in silence for a while. Then the mock turtle says, "I was a real turtle once. I went to school. I had a lot of lessons. Mystery, seography, and drawing." "How interesting! And we have history, geography, and drawing at school," says Alice. "And how many hours a day do pupils have lessons?" asks Alice. 10 hours the first day, 9 the next, and so on." "How curious!" "They are lessons. They lesson every day. The 11th day is a holiday." "What do pupils do on the 12th day?" asks Alice. "Enough about lessons. Sing her a song, Turtle Soup, now," says the griffin. The mock turtle is singing, "Beautiful soup," when someone cries, "The trial is beginning." "Let's go!" And the griffin takes Alice by the hand and they run to the court. The king and the queen are sitting on the throne. The white rabbit is standing near the king. A pack of cards and a lot of animals and birds are around them. The knave is standing in front of the king and the queen. He is in chains. Alice thinks the king is the judge because he has a large wig. She also sees the jury box with 12 animals and birds in it as jurors. The jurors are writing. What are they writing? "The court will only begin soon," asks Alice. "Their names. They are afraid of forgetting them before the end of the trial." "Silence in the court," cries the rabbit. "Read the accusation," orders the king. "The knave of hearts stole the tarts of the queen of hearts," cries the juror. "First witness," orders the king. It is the hatter. He comes with a teacup in one hand and a piece of sandwich in the other. "I am sorry, I need to finish my tea," says the hatter. He starts to shiver. "Don't be frightened, or we will cut off your head," says the king. But the hatter is frightened. He bites off a piece of his cup instead of the sandwich. "If you have nothing to say, go," orders the king. The hatter leaves the room as fast as he can. Suddenly, Alice understands she is slowly growing large again. "Call the next witness," cries the king. The white rabbit suddenly says, "Alice." Alice is very large now. She stands up and upsets the jury box. "Oh, I am sorry," she says. She picks the jurors up. When the jurors are back in the jury box, the king opens a book and reads, Rule 44. All people more than a mile high must leave the court. Everybody looks at Alice. I am not a mile high. You are 2 miles high, say the queen and the king. I will not leave, says Alice. Off with her head, orders the queen. She is again red and angry. You are just a pack of cards, says Alice. I am not afraid of you. Suddenly, the whole pack goes up into the air and flies down on her. Alice screams and tries to beat them. Then she wakes up. Her sister is sitting near her. Wake up, Alice, she says again. Oh, sister, I had a very curious dream, says Alice. She tells her sister everything about the Wonderland.